Dear friends, I welcome you on this second online session of building planning and design topic course of third year BTech Civil Engineering. In the first topic, we had seen some of the traditional construction techniques. The remaining techniques we shall see today. Beginning only, I again called all the students that ours is the college which is being run by Sri Tulja Bhavani Temple Trust, being headed by Honorable Collector Mrs. Deepa Mudhar Munde Madam, and the most of the fees concessions have been given for the meritorious students. So it's a better opportunity for the students who are having very good merit, but due to financial constraints they could not admit themselves in any of a technical education. So ours is a very good college running from last 30 years and having a very good students which have come in the university and working toward the world. So let's go to the academics now. Let's go to the second part of this third chapter, traditional construction techniques. Today we shall learn what is a lime, how it is going to be produced, and what is its application in the first part. So let's go to this. So lime is basically a significant building material in India. The variations in lime are found across different regions in India. So it can be named with various names such as red lime, etc. Its constituents are 5 to 25% of we can say hydraulic lime, and which is going to be hardened with application of water. We could also see in the photograph the lime cubes that are available or that can be produced in various types of clays. The applications and the examples are Shekhawati House was primarily a lime based construction technique, then Chettinad plaster, Madras plaster in South India, and lime arraish. So all these are basically the various types of application which has flourished in olden periods, specifically in the South India. Now let's go to the lime production technique. So traditionally conker lime is we can say calcinated in the we can say clamp clean similar to limestone, and after cooling it is going to be burnt, and afterwards it is going to be crushed into small pieces and grinded to a fine powder as shown in the photograph. Lime arraish, then Chettinad plaster, Madras plaster are the biggest quality traditional techniques of producing an extremely smooth, glossy and crack-free finish. These techniques produced glossy surfaces that resemble the polished marble, lime and flourish. Some of the additives in the lime, let's see of that. What are the additives? In that gur, or what we can say it is a sweet we can say substance which we add in the we can say food also, which is going to be added. It is having very good adhesive property, so it is going to be added in the lime slacking process. Then this is shown in the photograph. Another is a we can say an earthen pot is being used for slacking of the lime, which is the first process in the lime production. So the figure shows the traditional lime chakki where the alum is going to be produced. The various additives are as presented, that is a gur, salt, jute fiber, pulses, milk products, gur jaggery, seeds, aloe vera and fruit pulp. So these are the various we can say products which are going to be added. Jute pulp is having very good we can say property of we can say giving the tensile strength to the lime, so it is going to be used to work against the shrinkage cracks. The another small photographs also shows the C-cell which is being used in the lime production. So this is one of the kiln that is being operated from Chennai, have been shown in the photograph, and in the production of red lime. It contains 5 to 25% of the clay, and it can produce the high hydraulic lime that is going to be it becomes hardened with the use of water and cement. So this is a mixing tank which is going to be shown so which is used for, we can say, slacking of line. Then there were we can say many persons worked in this, so many references we could find about this mixing process and all this in the early 20th century also. Then the various products that have been manufactured by this line are shown in this. So it is one of this lime jali, so it is used in Hyderabad in a Paiga tomb. So it is quite decorative and it is very finely crafted. Another photograph shows the lime stucco work that is in the Billari. So you can see that the work is quite fine and it is totally produced in the lime. So it's quite durable also. We could see such structures centuries after centuries, and the structure's quality is going to remain the same. So this is a traditional house in Nadiad, Gujarat, and you will see there is an extensive use of lime plaster, and which is going to give a very good finish to the, we can say, building interiors, and a very we can say soft look. This is also one of the, we can say, olden structure of Akkad, and it shows the stucco plaster which is made up of lime, which is going to give a very fine art. At the same time it is going to give a very fine finish. Then Gol Gumat of Vijapur is a famous example, we can say, in our area, in the Vijapur district of Karnataka state, and it is having a tradition of repeating of noises. Most of the students, they have also enjoyed this we can say a miracle, so which is going to be constructed there. The inside plasters are made up of limes by adding the wood and other additives as explained earlier, and it is going to give the 100% repulsion of sound waves, and it is going to produce the recodes. So it is a very good, we can say, miracle of olden structures. Another photograph shows the lime construction Baridi tomb at Bidar, so that is also in Karnataka. Most of the art, they have been developed in the Karnataka state and southern parts of India. Now let's go to the another, we can say, method, which is another point in this topic, that is low cost housing material and methods. In this chapter we are going to learn the various low cost housing materials, their productions, how they are going to be used, and how the house can be constructed with a very lower costs. The photograph shows the mass housing project used low cost housing as a technology being used in it, whereas GFRG technology is, we can say, some of the advanced technologies, but it is also going to work on the similar categories as a low cost housing. When we see what is the rate of, we can say, progress of this housing of this session, you will see that in financial year 16 and 19 you will see the rapid potential of affordable housing. So nowadays we call it as affordable housing, but it is basically a low cost housing, and its sales is also increasing. So that is within 2-3 years it has increased from 8% to 21%. So it's a very high rise. People are now more likely to get the low cost house, which is going to offer a lesser costs. So this low cost housing or affordable housing is, we can say, the future market in our country. So some of the very, we can say, waste materials that we could obtain from various building process and other process, they can be recycled and can be used as a very good building materials. In that, the photograph shows the steel scrap waste material, plastic waste, paper waste, and concrete waste. Along with this, there are other materials like gypsum compost, straw bale insulation, and wool carpet. Rubber is also going to be used as a recyclable material. So since they are going to be available with, we can say, cheapest cost or mostly free of cost, they can be very easily recycled and used in the building construction works, various building construction works, so as to get the low cost housing projects done successfully with the lesser costs. So now let's see what are the basic requirements of planning that are required for low cost housing projects, how we should proceed on such type of projects. there are certain prerequisites. These prerequisites, that means we have to work in a different way. We have to give more focus on the extensive planning of houses. So then special shapes, the sizes of openings, the lesser the area of lesser construction area, more facilities. So such of the things that should be observed. Then all the, we can say, building elements which are going to support the nature and which are going the locally available material if it is going to be used. So we are going to make all such arrangements at the planning stage only. Then the person who is going to execute the work, we call it him as a contractor. He has again have to get the exact dimension. He should be involved in the process so that he will understood that how to select the proper material with a, we can say, cheapest rate, then better structural design. So it should be economical, and speedier construction methods are some of the, we can say, prerequisites if we want to make this low cost housing project to be successful. So now let's see, one of the technique is known as a filler slab. Filler slab is one of the technique which gives us a very, we can say, cost saving in materials used for the, we can say, slabs. So you will see the tension part. See, we have, we can say, a section of RCC slab. Suppose it is 4 inches, or it is 100 centimeter or 110 centimeter, 110 mm. Then such we can say slabs. In such slabs, we can say the concrete part can be saved, or it can be replaced with the help of various, we can say, low cost components like terracotta pots, or even we could use the bricks. You will see in the tension part of the RCC slab, such parts are being used, which is going to save a lot of, we can say, material, and there won't be any effect on the structural strength of a RCC slab. So this is one of the cost saving, we can say, alternative for low cost housing. It's a famous technology known as filler slabs. Then one of the famous, we can say, architect, who is, we can say, an Indian architect but British origin, having its British origin, his name is Laurie Baker, and he worked in all such type of, we can say, low cost housing and we can say energy efficient architecture. He has given some of, we can say, his assignments. We could see that lintels, which is a flat RCC lintels, can also be replaced with the help of brick lintels, as we could see in the curved form or in a semicircular form. So if we could use these lintels, then a lot of cost saving is there without compromising any strength parameters we could see. Even though if we could go for we can say sloping slabs rather going for flat slabs, we will see that amount of heat that is going to be distributed in the top area of the slab will always be less, and that's why the interior of the houses are going to become less warm and they will become more comfortable to the surrounding environment. So another few, we can say, compositions of Mr. Laurie Baker's, that he has always used the available materials, the wooden materials, the bricks, the soil, and he has constructed the low cost housing. The photographs is also showing such type of his designs, which are quite famous in, we can say, South India. Then some more, we can say, designs also. He has very intelligently used a brick jali, so for, we can say, ventilation and light purposes. You will also see that very good designs of small meeting places can also be constructed with the help of a brick and, we can say, cement mortar, which is going to offer a very low cost alternative. So similar things that we just explained, it has been elaborated with the help of a, we can say, photographs. You will see the RCC lintels, they are going to save the 30 to 40% of the cost if we are going to replace them with the help of a brick arches, and it also improves the architectural appearance. The repetition of the similar shapes is going to give a very good, we can say, appearance, exterior appearance in the building. Next technique that we are going to learn for low cost housing, it is also some of the advanced technique, but it is going to we can say reduce a lot of cost. is a monolithic reinforced concrete construction, or MECC. So this is basically a technique where all the building elements mostly are going to be, we can say, prepared with the help of a steel mesh. So this is a cage which is going to be interconnected, and it is having a very good properties. The photograph shows that all the walls at the same time, beams, RCC columns, even the slabs are being casted with the structural steel reinforcement, and they are going to be casted at once itself. Some of the, we can say, properties of this is it is having good isolation property. Thermal insulation is also very good. The durability of a house is more. The bonding strength is more, since all the elements are interlocked. It will also give a very good crack resistance. Then the sections of these RCC elements, they are going to be reduced. So naturally it is going to reduce the total load of the building. So this is a very good low cost housing technique, so said to be MECC. The next technique, some of the examples of this MECC, we can say, techniques have been shown here in the CPWD. The monolithic construction projects are being implemented, and more than, we can say, 100 crores are going to be used here. So they are going to lessen the labor work, and they are going to totally avoid the external plastering. So since the RCC, we can say, elements, they are going to give a very good smooth finish, the coloring can be directly applied, excluding the plastering work.